Hello, my name is Adam Jacobs, Principal Microsoft Architect at Polycom, and in today's video we're going to provision RealConnect for Microsoft Teams. So first of all, let's sign into the web app, and we're going to use our global admin credentials. So as you can see, my cached credentials have been signed in, and I'm using this account here. And the first thing I need to do is I need to activate my license. So let's go to my email. And you can see in the email here, I've been sent my license from Polycom. So I've got my license key here. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back to my web app and I'm going to activate the new license. On this screen, it's going to ask us for the license key. I'm going to tick that I've read and I agree to the terms of service. And we can now see that our license includes support for Teams. We have 5 concurrent licenses, and this license is activated from today, which is when I've inputted the license into the web app. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to perform the consent for Microsoft Teams. So let's click this hyperlink. By doing the consent, we're allowing Polycom's bot to join our Teams meetings. So let's click here to continue. And I'm going to sign in again with my global admin account. And it's reminding me of the permissions that are required. And I'm going to accept. And the consent has been completed. So now let's go back to our web app. And we're now going to perform the PowerShell setup. The PowerShell instructions are documented within this hyperlink. And you can see here that it first of all tells you how to connect to the service. So let's open up our PowerShell. And I'm going to connect into the service. And I'm going to copy my global admin username. And I'm going to put in my password. I'm now connected to Skype for Business Online PowerShell. And we're going to run through some of our PowerShell steps that are illustrated below. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to configure our policy. Now the good thing about using this web page is that it's automatically populated with the bot ID that Polycom uses and my unique tenant ID. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this PowerShell and I'm going to paste it here. And before I hit enter, there's a number of things I wanted to call out here. So the first thing is that we are going to be assigning the bot ID and storing that within our tenant. We're also putting in the tenant key. And finally, we're also adding the tenant key specific dial-in page. So enter. And now you can see we have our service provider of Polycom defined with all the details populated correctly. The only thing that we haven't done here is we haven't allowed our video endpoints to bypass the lobby. And that's something we can do by adding an additional parameter. So let's go ahead and do that. So next I'm going to go off and I'm going to set people to be able to bypass the lobby. Let's go back into our PowerShell. And now that that's set, if we run get CS video to service provider with the identity Polycom, we should now see that that line here, which is set as false, should now be set to true. Excellent. So we're now going to go ahead and we're going to assign our policy to, first of all, one of our users. So in my case here, I'm going to just assign it to myself. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put my username, which Again, I'm going to copy from this text document that I have here, and that has now been assigned to me. Now, if I wanted to, I could also assign this globally to everyone. So before we do that, let's just check to see who has this policy assigned. So at this point, we can see that my account has been assigned with that, or granted with that policy. So finally, I'm going to grant it to everyone because I want everyone to have access to this service. So let's go back into here. And in this, I'm basically saying that this policy can be provided to everyone. And we're being told that this has been applied to all of the users within our tenant. Now that my RealConnect for Microsoft Teams provisioning is completed, I can go ahead and create a Teams meeting that includes video interoperability. So if we go ahead and we look at this meeting invite, we can now see within the invitation, if I zoom in here, we have new information that's been populated at the footer of this email. First of all, we can see that our tenant key at t.plcm.vc provides us with an IVR and a way to join the meeting. Once dialing the IVR, we can then dial in the VTC conference ID, which is also generated and is unique to this invite. Finally, we can also go ahead and we can click this hyperlink. When we click this hyperlink, it takes us to a page where it shows us the direct dial string that's been generated as a part of this meeting. This could be copied and pasted, or alternatively, you can use one touch dial to simply come in the room and click one button to join the meeting. This concludes the video for provisioning Polycom RealConnect for Microsoft Teams.